Sports, Week 2, WAKA Peninsula, back in action. I'm George, leading the show again. To my right, I have the only man I know with a trophy named after him, the Commissioner, Mr. Wentworth. And then to his right, the best-dressed Amish man I know, Rumspringer's Matt Wilbrook. Here we go. Thanks everyone for tuning in last week. We're working some kinks out, but I appreciate your comments and feedback. Please keep them coming. Appreciate everyone who threw out some love. I didn't hear any, but these guys, they did. So
yeah, a lot of good feedback from you guys. We're taking everything into consideration. So keep up the comments. If you have any ideas that you want to share, anything to make the podcast better, please let us know. But we received a lot of great feedback on the fields and the bar buzz, so thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.
And our new addition to the crew this week, you won't be seeing him on camera. He's sitting right behind it, which is Brian Pena, new member of the Foul Balls. 1 week, 1 win, and now he's in the podcast.
A rare undefeated foul ball player at 1-0. Right?
This guy's a triple threat. We're looking for some good things. So, as mentioned before, we put out a little contest, if you will, to name this media extravaganza that's going to be happening from week to week. Heard a few submissions out there. Matt, anything good on the radar?
Two that stood out in my mind, Daniel Shaw's WAKA Peninsula cast and Dottie's 3 Up, 3 Down.
So I think it's only right that our commissioner give his unbiased choice we all agreed upon for the podcast name. Sir?
Well, I'd say since I pretty much have to buy Dottie beer anyway all the time, I'll choose hers and say 3 Up, 3 Down.
Yep. 3 down. Oh, I came did the wrong thing. I was doing 4 up, 3 down. Yeah, man. Whatever.
But great submission. We like that.
Totally unbiased.
Unbiased. Yeah, it was a conversation. It wasn't Brent. Hey, we're doing this. This is the end all be all. So, congratulations, Dottie, for the 3 up, 3 down suggestion.
Thank you, Big. I love you.
All right. So, without much further ado, we're going to look back on week 1. We're going to look forward to week 2. What's in store? As you know, some teams will be playing their first game. We'll be having week 1 and week 2. But let's start with those who did get to hit the field. In our kickoff game, and also their kickoff game on the peninsula, peanut butter and jelly time, faced off with chicken tetrazzini. Here was a close one. They fell 1-0 to the Angry Birds.
Ruined our line as well. Chicken tetrazzini Angry Birds came out, and I caught the last 2 innings of that. I tell you what, Chicken Tetrazzini kept their heads together that game. Top of the 4th, they had a person on 3rd, a person on 2nd, peanut butter jelly did, and to get those last 2 outs, not allow a run scored. It's just a great testament to the way Patterson and everybody has that team running, keeping the focus, the head straights on week 1 to avoid kind of a colossal meltdown there in the 4th inning and give up that lead.
Yeah, I think the Angry Birds might have been overlooking peanut butter and jelly time just a little bit. I don't think they were expecting as good a game as they got. Even when they made mistakes, PB&J, there were a couple times where they would drop a pop-up, but the guy would be right behind them to catch it. It's a really fun game to watch. It came down to the wire. In the last inning, the guy rounded 3rd base for PB&J. I think it was James Griffin. Rounded 3rd base, and he was gonna definitely score, but he tripped over one of his teammates' jackets on the sideline.
Damn shame.
And then Taylor just tagged him with the ball and ended up winning. I think that was the 3rd out, actually.
Yeah. Good awareness on Taylor's part, but you guys need to keep your jackets and your evening wear off the fields, man, because it could cost you. That polyester is slick stuff, especially out there on them wet fields.
Well, the guy didn't have cleats, so he rounded 3rd base really wide. So that bad break.
Rookie mistake, not wearing cleats out there.
Classic wardrobe malfunction. On both sides.
It's a good debut for him. We thought, what did we put the line?
We had the line at 3 or 4. So yeah, crushed the line.
So once again, welcome. Looking for good things. I'm sure they'll pull out a few wins this year. Hope so. Hope they'll be back. So then the second game of the day, Chubby Gangsters. A lot of talk. They came to back it up, 5-1 victory over Just Kicking It.
My dark horse team that I got to make a statement going through the tournament, so I'm glad. Chubby Gangsters came through in week 1, made me proud. Didn't get to catch most of the game, but going against a team like Just Kicking It, 5-1 scores, what you want to see in week 1, to make that statement game, not keep teams that you're supposed to beat by a couple of runs in the picture. So great job to Chubby Gangsters.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, but I heard they were pretty impressive, especially with the top of their lineup. Andrew McDougal, Morhart brothers, a couple of those guys, Thane Osterdale. They look like they're going to be a pretty formidable crew, and something that's going to give defenses a lot of trouble in the front end. So it all matters if they can get some production from the back end, and they're going to be in good shape. So they may, Keith has been promoting how the Chubby Gangsters are going to have a winning record this year. They're off to a good start.
Also off to a good start this season, the Foul Balls in the 3rd game.
The Foul Balls.
With a 9-8 victory over the New Kickheads. I saw a little bit of this. A lot of long ball being played. A lot of power kickball. You guys catch much of the game?
No. I mean, you're talking like a scoring fest there. 9-8. Wow. And Brian, our cameraman back here, 1-0 on the Foul Balls, bringing a little bit of swag to that team. He's tatted up right there, so I can see that. So probably a little competitive edge there. But yeah, I mean, Foul Balls, we kind of said that's one of those teams at the bottom, but maybe we probably pissed them off a little bit. Came out to play. So excellent job with the Foul Balls. 9-8. Way to go, guys.
Yeah, I heard. Foul Balls, from what I heard, which I don't know how accurate it is, but they jumped out to a pretty big lead. But the Kickheads, they didn't give up, and they came back. They just fell a little bit short. So it was a pretty wild one. It seemed like everyone's having fun. So it's good stuff.
Who do you think at the end of the season has more wins total based off of this one game that none of us really clearly saw? But you got 9-8 Foul Balls and New Kickheads. Who do you think at the end of the season is going to tally more wins with this one?
I will go Foul Balls. I think they'll get 3 or 4 W's.
3 or 4 W's, Brent?
I don't know. It could go either way. They'll be tied.
1 win apiece. I'm going Foul Balls. I got Foul Balls. I got them winning. I say 2 more games. 2 more games, but yeah, way to go.
The dudes on the Kickhead look like they're in shape.
Like physically? I mean, were they playing without their shirts on? Are we talking about straight muscle mass or just physical ability?
Muscle mass. I mean, the bodies could have been built in a gym. I don't know.
I can't help but notice you directed that comment at the 2 co-hosts here. So we'll talk about that later. After we run through. All right, then we had our marquee week 1 matchup. That was the returning champions, Shake and Bake. They were taking on JFK, which 2 great teams. Knew it was going to be a great game. Mr. Wentworth, you were there on the field, and I think both of us were playing at the time, so we didn't get a chance to catch any action.
Yeah, it was a good game. I think Shake and Bake, we were reloaded, so we didn't get really well. We did talk about it last week, but the camera didn't pick it up. Man, we got a hell of a defense. It's going to be tough to score runs against us. So yeah, we're good. We took care of business.
That is an impressive week 1 win that hopefully shoots you off into the rest of the year.
Let me ask you, I'll put you on the spot right now. If you guys are to meet in the playoffs, is it the same outcome?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, not exactly the same. It'll probably be a little bit tighter in the playoffs. JC, he signed up with JFK, so he was charging, but unexpected. It's a different game. He's on the mound. So, I mean, but that's not to take away from Daniel Shaw, because he was throwing
the Condor.
He was throwing some fire moments there. He was really kept us off balance, but our offense, we just strung together some hits. We had a good 2-out rally. So I think 3 of our runs came with 2 outs in the second inning. So.
Week 1 coming out there, and especially when you got to make a statement game like that, JFK versus Shake and Bake. Sometimes the chemistry, you're working that stuff out. So it'll be interesting to see you guys meet again, what that outcome will be.
It looks like everyone looking up at the champs right now. Currently #1 in our coaches poll, which we'll get to in a few minutes.
My self-esteem is at an all-time high right now.
That's got to feel good. It's got to help you sleep.
Did you pitch that game? How'd you do?
Good.
Good? Yeah.
I just won one run.
Yeah.
Dave Dixon pitched, and I pitched. We split duties. Anthony was on fire. AJ was on fire. Roger was on fire. And defense, PJ does what PJ does. It was a good, solid effort all night.
All right, then we had another top 4 matchup. That was with the 5 o'clockers against Vernon Bridges, who were last year's regular season champion. I think I noted last week I saw them play to a really intense tie, 0-0 at the end of the regular season. This one, of course, not as close.
Not as close at all, you know, and I don't know what footage was taken or not taken because we did about 3 or 4 takes, but now I got to eat my crow on this one to the 5 o'clockers. I had you guys losing both games, so to really come out there, I had the opportunity to ref home plate, unbiased, of course, to my picks, but 5 o'clockers, still same old 5 o'clockers, man. I don't care who they plug in, who they take out, they got that team going. 4 runs, it was a 4-0 win. I think they put up about 3 in the first inning just to really kind of cement that lead and just take advantage of it. We were talking before the podcast. I don't know the Charger on that team, but man, he has an arm on him. I mean, Reyes pitching, you know, that infield right there is solid.
I think it's Randy Devlin.
Randy Devlin, you know, if you guys want to chime in and give me correct us on who that Charger is, but just great play on the infield. I mean, the bunting was there, the situational hitting was there. You know, if Vernon Bridges got one popped out in the outfield, there was somebody there to catch it. It was a very error-free game for the 5 o'clockers. So, you know, I take my crow right here, man. So you guys really showed up to play. You know, Vernon Bridges, you guys had that target on them going in undefeated, coming into the next season. So, you know, I feel like having that one loss, I think it's the best thing that could happen to them early versus later in the year. But it's still got a solid squad, a lot to build on from that 4-0 loss.
Ain't gonna get any easier for the Bridges this week.
Because who they play?
Shake and bake.
There it is. And who the 5 o'clockers play?
Rumspringa.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah. So it ain't gonna get easy for them either.
Oh. All right, so the final game we were able to complete week 1 due to a little rain storm that came through. That was kick-ass against free ball and ended in a 3-3 tie. Obviously, I was there, front row seat. Free ball, and they came out hard and fast. You know, we put it together in the later.
I love when somebody comes out hard and fast.
God, it was a great feeling to sit there and take it from them while they just charged out of the gates like that. You know, we got together later in the innings, and a lot of respect to free ball. And I said earlier, I think we had plays at the plate where their defense made plays at the plate in the 4th and 5th innings. You know, we had a chance to score, but they held on that tie. You know, so both of us, without a win, without a loss, stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, hey man, it's a good place to be in the middle. Tying is one of my things I do well at. I mean, we've tied probably a WAKA leading like 9 games in our 3 seasons. So you're in good company tying up, man.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch a little bit of a game on YouTube. Brian Moore uploaded it. It just looked like both teams were probably not as sharp as they'll be at the end of the year. Like, there were a lot of pop-up bunts, a few miscues in the field as far as throwing errors and stuff like that. But overall, you know, I think both teams are going to be contenders in the end. So.
All right, and then those who didn't get a chance to take the field, or rather to complete their games, I think we started for a few minutes. Everyone wanted to see Rumspringa and the Jaggernats?
Jaggernats.
Nats
can't talk, so in the beginning he was calling it Jaggernats, so that might be a new nickname on the way. We'll put that in a poll, so I like that. But yeah, that was you could tell it was going to be a defensive struggle right from the bat. I mean, Ricky Holmes up to kick first off for the Rumspringa, pop out, you know, brand new season. Rumspringa stops the 1-2-3 punch.
Why are you throwing your teammate under the
I'm not
bus?
throwing my teammate under the bus. I'm going through here. I'm doing an unbiased analyst job here. But, the 1-2-3 of Dan Moore, Mazzetti, Julie Kittleson, we stopped that going 0-0 into the top of the second before it got called. But you were looking at a good defensive match heading in. Maybe one run could have sealed the deal there. But it's fun. I heard there's talks about maybe squeezing us into an 8:30 match. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But
yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from field space in York County. So we should be able to make up all 3 games.
There's a lot of red tape to go through, but we trust the commission here to get the job done.
I'll do my best.
It's a game that we wanted to happen, and I've been talking to some of the Jägernauts, and probably a little bit kind of breathe easy thing. We get some time to focus, and then have a kind of more of an end of season matchup versus right off the bat. So we're looking forward to it.
You guys talk a lot?
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the Alliance, man. If y'all saw that dance floor, man, me and Joe Mazzetti, we had it going on.
Also, didn't get to take the field in week 1, unfortunately. That was the Battle Star face off with Moose Knuckles. So there's 2 other teams who will be finally kicking off in week 2. And then JFK and the 5 o'clockers didn't get the second half of their doubleheader. They were set to face off at 8:30.
They had already scored like a combined 8 runs in 1 inning.
JFK
Wow,
5 o'clockers?
Yeah.
Wasn't that what you'd expect?
No, I know it wasn't at all. Well, I think it's because the ball was wet, so it kind of impacted it. Alan Walker had a big triple that drove in a couple runs. Matt Marcus had a home run that he actually cranked it into like the infield of field 2. So some big kicks in that game. So it was looking like it was going to be a back and forth like affair. So I'm going to try and make up every game. So we have space for 2 games to be made up right now without using our rain out week. I'm just trying to secure additional field space for the 3rd game.